Oh, wow, I'm live. Do. Oh, hmm. Oh, dear. The one conclusion I can draw is that there's some kind of organization or movement or quote unquote collective of consciousness that makes people do the same thing. Uh, uh, that makes people do the same thing. Uh, do, do. I suppose it's worth noting that, um, well, it's not worth noting, really. There's something wrong with well, not wrong. I mean, there's something wrong with the computer. The computer just isn't working correctly. Um, I put a video card in thinking that, well, if that works, maybe it'll stop doing the wrong thing. But basically, what it is like, for example, Bruce Letcher. I woke up earlier today thinking of Bruce Letcher. And what can I say? Bruce Letcher, one day, and I think me as well, were approached by someone, a total person we don't know. I think I put that on the other recording, who said her name was Heather Green. And a couple of years later, you had the state premier talking about going to the Green Dragon pub on Green Hill Road at the time when his government had taken my green dressing gown, and they wanted to help Heather Green because the yogi Paramahansa Yogananda, who was able to use his willpower to write a poem about the premier of the state, who'd more or less been in office for 38, 40 years with virtually no opposition. And so what they did with Bruce Letcher is, it's just a coincidence, of course, had some character from, New Jersey, famous place. Albert Einstein lived there. And then they had a nice university and various other things. It was known as sort of like where the New Jersey Mafia came from. And of course, and of course, and of course, uh, Heather Green, later on lived in the Sphere organization, Showbiz Promoters, on Lefevre Terrace. And so, that band Pink Floyd talked about a fever or something. And I don't know, I guess that kind of music is designed for kids who are 5 years old or 6 years old or something, really, really deep thinkers. And, well, I guess the motive is they want to make money. They want to make money. The band want to make money. And so, the character who created the festival that Heather Green wanted to go to see, it's pretty unbelievable. Really a total complete package of lyrics, what they're all singing about or lyricizing about. Rolling Stones too. Well, it is just too stupid to go into. But the character who arranged it all was named Alex Innocenti. I think I said this before. But the thing is, there's these Maharishi people who will tell you that they have the answer to the everything. And well, I suppose I can say it in a different way. But Alex Innocenti, I think what he did is notice that I'd go up to Grandview Street, up past the Waite Agricultural Institute, say hi to Philippa Eglinton, who didn't go to Unley High School, possibly went to a private school, and sort of wander around there. And Alex Innocenti and is like all communists, in the beginning, what the communists do is move into a place and strip all the assets from people who are sort of more educated than they are, or know more, or more skilled. And then by doing that, they gain wealth. That's a bit how the British Empire started, where they'd go to some place and, sort of start some sort of gang to take over and all that sort of thing. Yeah. Phew. Yeah, but Bruce Letcher wasn't Bruce Springsteen. And there's a whole story about that too, to do with Germans in Brighton. And I know, I guess the thing was that they wanted you to believe that the IRA controlled everything here in Adelaide. And they had some, really, really deep political point of view to do like, for example, their band U2. What they did is they used the next door place to me, which was known as U2, to sort of boast about, oh, we just killed John Lennon, or that sort of thing. U2, of course, was an Irish band, talking about on New Year's Day, because one of the things that I believe the communists' purpose was to stop all religions and only celebrate things like New Year's Day. Stop all religions, worship various people. Of course, no human rights laws were enacted or anything like that. And so my concluding thought was that nobody in their right mind would live in Australia. All right, well, that's the end of that. Nobody in their right mind would live in Australia. So God bless Bruce Letcher. What about Jim Juniper? There's another one. Or that one and that one. The level that you need to be at to be a professor in Australia isn't very, very high. One of the conditions is you've got to marry an Asian woman. You've got to be involved with Asians. If you do that, they can make you a professor, and you don't have to have any sort of higher understanding other than that. The same can be said about Indian. Like, India doesn't really have a political system or a legal system. And so that's what they did. They had that divine light mission guru show up here, and his people, I believe, in India killed those two ministers in the government of the present government of India. There's a lot of that sort of thing going on. I would say it's all based upon degeneration, like deconstructionism, the loss of all values, no ethics, no morality, apart from sexually. So in that regard, they see themselves as the sex police. Any crime is okay, is doable, but they're into the sex police. We're the sex police, and male and female shall not interact with the sex police. Well, I can't think of anything else to say. I'll do this for 20 seconds. I think Albert Einstein did live in New Jersey. He abandoned his wife in Europe. He was a socialist. He made sure that everybody understood that I am a socialist. And oh, maybe I should read the poem. Now, this poem really affected a lot of people here in South Australia. I don't know why. Well, I do, but I don't know why. In the forest thou art green. The thing about L. Ron Hubbard, you know, that founder of the new religion and modern science and mental health, the bridge and all that, it was about a bridge club on Young Street. Had been going to play a card game called Bridge, which is slightly more complicated than poker or tarot or that sort of thing, fortune telling, where some kind of card game called Bridge. And of course, he didn't tell anybody what he was doing. And it was bought, and so it was believed in like that. All right, so that's the end of that. There were some transcendental meditators in America. One named Tony Nada, who started sort of quoting some of Hubbard's books. And why is that? The problem with people in the world nowadays or then is they live through telepathy and clairvoyance. When Jung was writing about a collective of consciousness, he was living in the German section of Switzerland, and I think the collective consciousness was of Germans and living in Germany as well. And so, for example, that book he did, Journey to the East, directed the German government to form a brotherhood with people in the East who were Indians. And India was going to get its republic. It was going to become independent and all of that. But there's another way to understand and see those kind of things, which just completely changes the meaning of life and the reality. And I'm not an advocate for that sort of belief system. The thing about Hubbard, for example, was his central idea was like, when criminals get together to plan a heist, a robbery, or any crime, they have to agree on what the crime's going to be and how they're going to do it. And so that was the basis of the new modern science of mental health. uh, and nothing more. Uh, the Bridge Club on Young Street. There was a church around the corner there that was opened November 22, 1963. And they really placed a lot of emphasis on the person who was going to open it. He wasn't just, a local priest or anything. He was more qualifications than your local member of parliament, higher qualifications than your local member of parliament, supposedly more educated than a local member of parliament. Supposedly they had beliefs in ethics and morality and stuff like that. Okay, well, I don't know. Industry. I think it was well known in America in the TV land that the character who opened that new church, Baptist Church, November 22, 1963, was named Gleason, and it so a US TV show was the Jackie Gleason show, and they tried to do so. A US TV show was the Jackie Gleason show, and they tried to do jokes, and their jokes were all, not funny. They were not funny in any way apart from turn off the sound, don't listen to what they're saying, just watch what they do. And they don't do anything except propagate the name Gleason. And that seems to be what US media and politics later on did, just propagate the name of someone here in Adelaide, South Australia. Mm.